What's up guys, Dave with Miracle Canine Training. Want to make a quick video for you guys on leash handling, so how you're holding the leash, as well as kind of our recommended collar and leash setups for dogs at different stages in the training. This is something I'm coaching people through all the time in one-on-one sessions. People are always asking me about what kind of equipment we use and stuff like that. So we're gonna make one video that kind of encapsulates all of those. If you have any questions on any of this stuff, or you are looking for any additional information on the products that we use, either send us a message or check the description for details. All right, so first we're gonna go over the tools that we are using and the tools that we use during the intermittent phases of the training programs here. So what we have here right now is we have our 3/8 inch Mendota slip lead. We have a 2.25 millimeter prong collar made by Herm Springer. They also make a 3 millimeter prong collar if your dog is bigger than about 60 pounds that you're gonna wanna use. We use a standard 4 or 6 foot leash, so nothing retractable or anything. I prefer biothane as it's the easiest to clean. It's the most durable as opposed to leather or any other synthetic options that they may have. We use the Mini Educator e-collar. They also sell a Micro Educator for smaller dogs, and they also sell a Boss collar if you have a dog that's a little bit more resistant and needs a little bit more power. And then last but not least, we have the Mini Educator replacement bungee collar that allows you to quick connect that collar onto the dog. It has a bungee on it for extra comfort, and you don't have to mess around with the tension every time and having different people putting it on too tight, too loose, etc. You set it, you forget it, and you always put it on at the same tension every single time. So next we're gonna demonstrate these on my dog, as well as how we go about holding the leash and the combinations we use at the different stages of training. Okay, so the first combination we use is for the very beginning of the training when we're just doing our prong collar introductions and we're teaching all of our basic leash pressure work. So right now what we have on Vera is we have our 2.25 millimeter prong collar fitted snugly and fitted high up on the neck right behind the ears. We have attached to that prong collar our 4 foot leash. Again, if you'd like to use a 6 foot leash, totally fine. But most importantly here is the general leash grip of how we hold these. So this is a two-hand approach when you're just using the prong collar. Typically what I'll do is with my right hand, assuming you're walking the dog on your left-hand side, which is what we recommend as traditional heel position, take my thumb, loop it through the leash like that, cup my hand over top of it so I have a nice firm grip while still allowing plenty of slack on the leash here for any sort of basic motion work that I need to be doing with the prong collar. And then with my left hand, what I'm gonna be doing is with my arms loose at my side, I'm gonna grab the leash with an overhand grip. So if you're holding the leash straight up and down, think thumbs up on the leash. I'm gonna hold it like that, arm loose at my side. And what I want is I want the leash itself, when my arm is loose, to be straight, but I want the snap to be facing down. What that does is that allows me to easily apply pressure up on the leash, easily apply pressure back on the leash, or to the side as I need to without needing to like jerk my arm around all over the place or anything like that. So again, thumb through the handle, grip over it. I'll typically hold that kind of at my chest. Thumbs up, overhand grip on the leash, relaxed at your side, take all of the slack out of the leash, but have your snap facing straight up, and then you are good to go. Then you can start your heeling as you need to. You can communicate easily with this leash, do sits, or do any sort of information that you need to. So this is our first leash grip and tool combination that we use in our training. All right, so second stage of the training is kind of our intermediate stage here. This is where we're still using our leash pressure and teaching everything, but we're starting to add remote collar pressure into things as well. My goal is always to have as few collars on my dog as possible. So in this case, you're gonna notice that there's no flat collar or anything, but I still have my prong collar on and I have my remote collar on. Notice the prong is nice and high and behind the ears. The remote collar is situated right underneath that. And then you'll see I have the quick connect collar attached to my Mini Educator here. So again, tension's already preset on it. We just use this buckle to take it on and take it off just like that. It makes it nice and easy and make sure that you have a nice fit every single time with that. So as far as leash grip, this is gonna be virtually the same as what we did for just the prong collar training, since we are still using the prong collar for all this. The only difference is we have our remote in our hand as well. So again, overhand grip on the leash, thumbs up, leash straight, but snap facing down like that. Have your thumb through the loop, but have your e-collar in your hand as well here. So notice I have the e-collar in my hand, and typically I'll use my middle finger to press the button on that. This hand on the chest, this hand here, And then as I'm doing my training, I could easily give my information with my leash and also engage my e-collar where I'm needing to, for whether I'm working on getting onto the bed or getting into the sit or getting into downs or whatever it may be. I could do all of that with both of these hands very effectively while having a secure grip on that leash the whole time. All right, so final stage of the training is under the assumption that your dog has either finished their training or is at the very end. You're not using the prong collar anymore. We're not reliant on the leash to get any of our commands in place. And in this stage, the leash is nothing but a safety measure. So what we want to be making sure we're doing is making sure the dog is not perceiving being on the leash. So what I try to do is I try to stay as loose as possible on it. So in this case, this is going to be a one-handed grip. Notice we'll have the e-collar on the Quick Connect collar as normal, but this time we have a Mendota slip lead attached instead of a prong collar. I keep this nice and high on the neck, and the reason why I like using this is, again, because I want minimal collars on my dog. Since my dog is never wearing collars in the house or anything, if I'm going for a walk, I want to be able to quickly put my equipment on. So in this case, all I have to do is put the e-collar on, clip it into place, take my slip lead, slip it over the head, get the ears back, push that down, and we're good to go, and you're ready to go for your walk in that case. So again, this is gonna be a one-handed grip here. It's the same as what we were doing with our right hand in the other stages. We're just doing it with our left hand. So leash through the thumb, cup your hand over, arm positioned right here, and then in this case, we would be utilizing a remote in our right hand like this. So as I'm walking, here I come, I can enforce my heeling all the same. I have my leash nice and loose here. Sit. I could give my commands down, and I still have the remote in my right hand if I need to use it, but the leash isn't doing anything here. If you had a dog that you were worried was gonna dart on you or something like that, you could easily cup your second hand over if you started losing control, and you have plenty of control position right on the strongest part of your body here. So this is stage number 3 of the training and our tool setup, as well as the way that we'll handle those equipment. So those are the 3 different stages of the training as far as the equipment use that we use, how we hold the leash, how we put the equipment on, how we situate everything. And this is what we've found to be just the most effective stuff possible. This is the stuff we recommend for all of our clients to be using at these 3 different stages. It's not that other stuff won't work. Like I said, this is just the most efficient, and this is the easiest way of doing all of these things. I don't want a bunch of junk on my dog. I don't want a bunch of equipment on them. So by having these setups, I'm ensuring ease of use for everything. As always, if you guys have any questions, hit it up in the comments below. If not, we'll see you next time.